Good morning, dear students. Welcome to the online lesson. I am an English teacher, Almagul Zhumagazievna. Today's our theme is Unit 9, Independent Project, Planning a Sustainable City of the Future. Pay attention to the lesson objectives. Today, we'll read an article about future cities, work with a new vocabulary, listen to the radio interview, present the future city. Now, look at the picture. What do you think the purpose of this building is? Where would you find buildings like the one in the picture in the near future? Now, listen to the text to find out answers for these questions.
Into the Future by Tai Chen.
Welcome to my home, a modern metropolis of metal and glass skyscrapers, crowded markets, and green open spaces. This is Shenzhen in China, a city set on a course for the future. In the 1970s, Shenzhen was just a group of villages. Nowadays, it is home to nearly 12 million people. It's China's wealthiest city, but its success means that it could soon face problems of overcrowding, pollution, and short supply of food and housing. It could, but it won't, because Shenzhen's people have a plan. They are taking their city into the future, and it all starts with farm scrapers. So, what is a farm scraper? Well, as the name suggests, it's a skyscraper with a farm inside. These towers of glass pebbles will have room for homes, offices, and shops, as well as places to grow food. They will have solar panels all over them and wind turbines on the roofs. The best part? Food will be available for residents on their doorsteps. There will be no need for lorries burning gallons of petrol to deliver food to the city. In Shenzhen, it's not only food that's a concern, it's water too. 12 million people use a lot of water, but the farm scrapers will have the latest technology to recycle wastewater and reduce pollution. Farm scrapers are just the beginning for Shenzhen. In future cities, shopping will also be a totally different experience. At the touch of a button, you will be able to compare the price of the shoes in front of you with pairs in other shops all over the city. Don't have time to try on that pair of jeans? Don't worry. In the future, digital changing rooms will show you what you'll look like on a screen. All this is amazing, but in order for all this smart technology to work, everything in the city has to be linked. For example, there could be sensors in the roads recording the movement of vehicles and giving information about traffic jams. There will also be cameras everywhere, even in our homes. It will make our streets safer, but how do you feel about being watched all the time? For now, these are just plans, but very soon we'll start to see them in the real world, and Shenzhen is the first in line. It's a very exciting time for our world cities, and I'm staying right here to watch it all happen.
Now, students, if you understand what the text is about, let's answer the following questions. What's the purpose of the text? Where will the farm scrapers get their energy from? What will you be able to do in a digital changing room? What's the truth about future cities? What's the writer's opinion about the future cities? Choose the correct answer. Now check your answers. There are some new words. You can find them in the Check These Words box. Explain the meaning of the words using the dictionaries. Next, match the words in bold in the text to their meanings. Check your answers. We are going to listen to the radio interview. Before you listen, please check these words.
Flying cars. Flying cars. Food in pill form. Food in pill form. Architect. Architect. Floating cities. Floating cities. High-tech skyscrapers. High-tech skyscrapers. Eco-friendliness. Eco-friendliness. Treehouse. Treehouse. Huge concern. Huge concern. Virtual reality theme parks. Virtual reality theme parks.
And what do you think the interview will be about? Let's listen. While you are listening to the interview, please put true and false answers here.
Hello, and thank you for tuning into Tech Talk this morning. When do you think we'll finally have those flying cars we saw in movies decades ago? Will we ever eat food in pill form? Where will we live in the future? In tunnels deep underground? Inside massive domes closed off from pollution? Or maybe in huge pyramids where there's no need to ever leave? Today's guest is architect and writer Nurjan Iskakov, whose new book talks about what the future might look like. Thank you for being here today, Nurjan.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us, Nurjan, what are cities going to look like years from now?
There are a lot of different theories. Some people say that we will simply add to the cities we already have, adapting them to our needs in order to stay safe and healthy. Other people believe we'll live in floating cities in the ocean that could turn into submarines when the water gets too rough. And others hope that we will soon live in high-tech skyscrapers that reach above the clouds to protect ourselves from bad weather.
That's fascinating. But who is going to design these incredible structures?
Actually, there are many architects working on designs as we speak. The main focus of these designs seems to be on eco-friendliness, creating buildings that will not harm the environment, but will still allow us to live in comfort. For example, one company is designing houses that actually function like trees, taking in carbon dioxide and producing oxygen.
But why do you think people would want to live there?
Wouldn't you want to live in a treehouse? Seriously though, I think protecting the environment is a huge concern to most people these days. It's certainly something I care about a lot, and you need to keep in mind that just because something is good for the environment doesn't mean it isn't fun.
What do you mean exactly?
Well, I'm sure most listeners have heard of virtual reality, but what about virtual reality theme parks? There's already one in China, another in the US, and I'm sure there will be more in the near future. The important thing is that these theme parks are a lot friendlier to the environment compared to the real ones.
I never thought about that before, but I can see how they would make a big difference. Unfortunately, we're running out of time, so thank you, Nurjan, for being with us today and sharing this really interesting information.
Please check your answers. Thank you for your answers. Your home task: use the text into the future to design your own future city. Think about architecture, eco-friendliness, shopping, food and water, entertainment, security. Present your future city to the class. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.